for here.
Yeah, especially when you've got Overpass and Vertigo as other maps in the series. Both are first selections for Cloud9 very typically. So, yeah, they're kind of in a sticky situation here, and NIP need to justify this pick by taking it. It feels like a must-win in this series.
NaVi fully blinded out, but Alexi's gone nonetheless. Buster is obviously here with 2 more. You've got a full mid stack coming through with 4 focused over, but Hobbit's demise frees up the banana. Axel still fighting back in middle, is able to keep Rez out at bay. Shiro long range, tag down. Axel switches out, and the bomb is hightailing it back towards the B bomb site. Smoke will be interrupting their procedure back to the B site themselves, so Shiro instead tries to work the wraparound.
Oh, God. If Axel holds this smoke, it is a pivotal duel, but the fact that he's taken so long just means that Shiro's on an island by himself, and so if Config finds this kill, this round might just certainly be done. Axel's so detached from the action, and sure, 2 kills is nice, but they can play this 2-on-1 by just buying time. No kit available for Axel.
Just have to hide away and you're good to go. Axel at this stage might even be considering going back and saving the Kevlar. Not necessarily the most high value, but whatever, man. You're getting nothing from the round. At best, a kill or 2, and that could be lining up here. We'll be able to pick up the extra 600, so yeah. At least it's consolation in the form of...
And just incredible star power, but we've yet to see that really culminate on this NIP squad in hit in full force.
Oh, great dodge on the flashbang. Don't think I would have blinded it NaVi anyway, but looked like just making sure he's not getting any sort of white in his eye. Pushing through the smoke is always risky. Missed opportunity.
Chance. Yeah, a real chance. Weren't even too aware of apartments being occupied like that. To lose Brolan at the start is a little bit poor, but Config at least trying to make up for it. Rez gone as well. So, in spite of them losing that presence over towards long, it's only for a moment's notice. This does look like it's irreversible now for NIP coming into round number 4. Guns are finally out for Cloud9 and able to strike with some presence.
Config was so secure in his kill on the archers, but you're thinking, nah, there's not going to be a second rotator over here, but Hobbit was there to back him up and gets a freebie. That could have been where the round starts to wither backwards if he'd been given access to CT just for free.
And just as a comparison point, this angle that Buster's holding, I don't think I would ever see Inters in a spot like that.
He is blinded and taken off of the angle. Alexi flashed up as well. NaVi trying to delay. Shiro's been naded. Second one not going to get him. Down to 9, and the Molotov surely should be bringing him down and out, but 3 HP is still what he's got left. A med pack would be nice, but there won't be one coming through. No assistance whatsoever. Cloud9 forced to save, and this is one of the big criticisms of C9 on T side generally, but CT side is very much true as well, which is that if you're not continually fighting for control, or you don't have anyone who's going to be going out to get in for something, you're sometimes just going to have a side collapse take you down.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where playing defensive on the bomb sites can come back to bite you. You know, we see the pace of this execute is so rapid, and you know, we're looking at it from Shiro's perspective. There's not much more he could have done. You know, he's getting flashed off. He goes back to a more defensive position. He's getting naded. He's getting Molotov. He's trying to buy time. And if they're not able to get any impact from NaVi in that position, then the round is
very difficult hold towards the A bomb side if they want to be committing to it anytime soon. You have no mollies, not very few nades, nothing at all basically to be able to stop the assault.
The demon peak there from Brolan. Ahead of the rest of the pack. Frontside smoke again will make it awkward. Makes it crossing into pool a real possibility here for Nip, but no smoke CT. Doesn't seem like they're that committed to traveling into B. That's because they're waiting for Config to find anybody on a rotate, anyone through spawn, or maybe even flank through spawn towards this B bomb site. Right now, Cloud9 none the wiser.
Shiro lies in wait. Boost up behind the smoke. Shiro can't find the frag. Brolan just gets him down, and Config's gone and got a second as well. B bomb site occupied, and once again, C9 will be forced back on the save. We're seeing similar things become a pattern, as it is going to just be repeated site hits late into the round when C9 isn't willing to get information. Nip can just wait it out and keep this utility functional for them. Does obviously cheat them into thinking that there could be multiple players here, but no, hold the point. Now there's Shiro coming in, head trick, goodbye.
Yeah, he reacted, but just not quite fast enough. Couldn't quite get the full flick. The tag on Shiro instead. And yeah, Hedrick was struggling against Dexter the other day. Wonder whether Shiro will now see some activation. Hasn't been able to get too much impact when he's had this AWP in hand. But sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes.
Sure, scenery's been changed. It's all on fire now.
And I smoke down as well, so I'm not going to help him have impact.
This is still really doable for Nip, though, because they've still got 4 flashes. They're all clustered together, full apartments control, the double players on the bomb sites. You've got Molotovs to work with as well. The only question is, where is this utility going to be used? Buster, one way being set up for himself. Going to try and work off of the angle. Can't spot out the apartments player. Axel, good for one inside the bomb site. He's paired up with Buster so effectively, they're just not able to get onto the site. Axel goes ahead and finds another, and Rez is all alone. No damage dealt so far, and Cloud9 want to keep it that way.
NaVi is here and could cut Rez out, but instead of revealing a little too much skin, 22 HP is all that's left on the last remaining Nip player, and they will keep 4 afloat.
Looking to reaggress inside the smoke. Axel's found Rez. That means Buster doesn't have to care about the apartments flank that could be coming through. So he's got Hobbit to come around, pair up this.
They wanted to deepen their options and punish, and it doesn't always work out. Berlin's takes a lot of damage by nades, and now NaVi just using the fact that that Molotov's down. I don't think Berlin could see a damn thing. He didn't react.
I do wish that C9 played Nuke, though. It just seems like their kind of map.
Yeah, well, the major would show otherwise.
Yeah, fair. All right.
That's because they don't bracket, Who knew that was important?
God, Hedrick's just going to be holding onto this angle for so long, but knowing Shiro, he's never swinging out for that, ever. This is a guaranteed kill being prepped up for Shiro, but the grenade stack that's being prepped up for NaVi's position is this. The second one coming through soon. NaVi, buddy, you're not feeling too happy about this. Shiro as well, backing off, thinking that, is there another airstrike coming through? Maybe it's on my position. Switching out guns with NaVi's. Back to the A4 he goes. Seems like it's almost a crime to take the op away from Shiro, to be honest. But now, flashes to fly. He's got the rifle to try. Conflict from behind the smoke. Getting ready to push through, and as soon as they do, prep it up. Config on the lineup, just spams him out. Hobbit's gone as well. NaVi on the AWP has got to come up and show in a highlight reel what he can do with the rifle. Problem is the flank coming out from Config, and NaVi is basically going to be gone. Switching out is on his head. 8 seconds on the clock. They can't plant the bomb. Config, another kill through the smoke found, and now
a solid game as well, and not just sticking to standard proceedings. Last time we had Berlin die early into a round, I think very similar to last round. Config immediately took space over towards the brackets, just hoping to capitalize on maybe a missed rotation. Berlin this time will get a little bit of revenge. He's been getting abused by utility, by nades. NaVi caught with nades out, and NIP will have a man advantage to kick it off.
NaVi's been on the worst side of the grenades the past few rounds. Stack back over towards
on the corner.
A, interestingly enough.
They are still split here. Alexei will regroup with the rest of the squad over at B, just giving Rez some extra util. Fails the silent jump, which is fine. Won't be in the game after the following major, I imagine.
Never know, man. I've been told the movement's going to be changed again by everyone on Twitter. I don't know what their sources are, but hey, because they think so.
This could just get pre-fired,
It's-
and probably should be.
I mean, Config's been very good about those so far. The question is, will he be aware of it? Rez going down towards the A bomb side. It's a peek forward. Brolin doesn't quite get the kill that Config would have. At least we think he might have. Hobbit. 3 players to deal with, no flashes. It's all one-on-one duels. Gets the first one, but it's Alexi to overrun and overwhelm. The problem is crossing over will be impossible. Shiro guarding it off, and a second frag for him, easy as can be. Makes it 3 for the round. Rez, of course, his first victim.
Now, they started that round with a man advantage, and it just comes crumbling down. Great kills from Shiro, and then also the fact that Hobbit's able to get that impact around that smoke. Brolin hard cleared for that. You know, he was prepared for a small gap round, but he just couldn't catch that glimpse fast enough. That smoke that was down was just enough of a, I guess, a reaction time advantage that Hobbit needed. And just being able to double up. And, man, Hobbit, what, 28 years of age? So nimble. You know, as soon as he gets that first kill, just darting up onto second oranges, and very hard for them to track that kind of movement from him. You know, usually you get one kill around the smoke, play from first, second, new box even, maybe even transition to dark if you get enough room, but Hobbit took the high ground.
I always thought Hobbit was more than that. So he's 30 or so. In my head, anyone who's like relevant to win a tier 1 event in 2017 has to be 30 now.
And, you know, Hobbit's got a kid as well.
True,
Yeah.
true. Some would say 4 more of them, but not by blood.
I mean, Buster's not that young.
Fair. But just because Inters has left the family doesn't mean he wasn't his child at one point, right? That's not how families work, Michael.
I say Buster's not that young. He's only 2 years older than, than NaVi and Shiro.
Brackets being contested only by Shiro, and with 2 players back in apartment, this is Axel's look for exploration. Config wants to phase this, and Axel will be phased himself. Gets the hell out of dodge, does not want to take the peek or the risk with it.
Yeah, a nice little one-way smoke in the apartments that it can punish players that just try and creep through it, you know, running through the middle, but Config knew better, tried to use it to his advantage instead. But a significant lack of pressure over on Banana here from NIP. That retake utility as well is going to spook them slightly. But they've actually committed a rotate. I don't know if Shiro's going to take up a deep position or he's just throwing over utility, but they're going to capitalize on this timing. NIP executing A.
And they want to go for a quick pop out. Axel has to be careful he doesn't just get caught by a few more flashes. The Tech 9's going to be deadly. Buster, though, on the bomb side, the only player left, and he will not be able to contest. Fantastic read coming out from Alexi over there. They decide as soon as they hear the utility on the retake for B that, hey, if there's going to be time for a rotate to come through, this would probably be it. Let's take the risk on A.
I think that's going to be one of the more confusing rotations from Cloud9 so far. You know, so late into the round to be trying to juggle utility over, albeit they just deployed the retake util. But if they're not going to show presence or at least get some information in that area, then it does feel kind of negligible, or I guess it's the information is kind of, or the retake utility is made redundant effectively by not being able to have a more forward post or being able to lean a certain direction based on a lack of utility sailing back at you. It just felt like Cloud9 threw that util to take it.
Hold it, Michael, because right now, Shiro holding on. Rez doesn't really want to contest this, but I think he's going to be forced to pretty soon. Flashbang won't matter. Rez wasn't expecting the op on the other side, so even when blind, Shiro is deadly.
And Axel's immediately taken position over at balcony, so Alexi knife out and unsuspecting. Config was getting ready to boost himself up, but Axel, even just round that smoke, deploys on the end of Balk, and Config can't do a damn thing about it. Down to 10 HP and now finished off. Axel 2 kills and doing a whole lot with this SMG.
Wow, that's kind of nuts that he finds that much out of it. Elbow, giving up, this time not a frag. Brolin already got one of those, and now the grenade to try and chase up the Shiro, down to 34. He's lucky he didn't take too much damage before, but in a 2-on-5, these Players don't have that much to work off of as far as time is concerned. Headtricks at least got the belt. Molotov for Buster could be flushing him out, but he wants to play the late angle if anything else isn't coming their way. Shiro's locked out of the site. He is back in library. Should not be able to continue to provide any support in this situation if they are just going to take the peek forward before he can take the angle, but no. Utility used, they've got no chance of creeping out.
Yeah, very low time, and as soon as there was some utility sailing out, Shiro just took up the angle on the approach through short, so it will have some impact, not just on long duty, really just props to that Axile Shiro setup inside of the apartments. It's one of those things. I mean, you look at Ancient, you know, Shiro and Axile are actually, you know, very quick to correspond off one another. They're often, you know, playing from middle, donut, the A-bomb side, and so they're actually going to be brothers in arms on defenses a number of times, but that's just an aggro setup that is so nice to call at that moment. You know, your 2 stars of Cloud9 able to have so much impact. I think as well, Cloud9 have probably clocked on. You know, they're always going to understand that there's going to be some anti-stratting, some research that's been done, especially when it comes to head-to-heads like this. You know, they just played them yesterday as well. This is an NIP that have come in with a new focus to get revenge because they're out of the showdown. But I think after NaVi got double-naded first orange on a very defensive CT setup, you know, they've been trying to mix things up a little bit since then.
It has continued to be a fairly defensive setup on the A-bomb side, though, generally speaking. There's been some points of aggression in through apartments, but brackets hasn't necessarily been the biggest focus. Now, looking to accelerate over towards the B-bomb side. There are pieces of utility available for this. Hubbard has to be careful. Flashbang a little bit late, and it won't be catching him out at all. NaVi's here on the cover, gets 3. No return frags whatsoever, and although he does end up falling, it's 15 seconds. Hobbit being pushed in upon. Rez has found the kill, and the farmers can be reloaded as well. Buster, suddenly things are getting a little bit interesting. Head tricks of the M4 as well. Shiro spotted out. Shotgun miss a grenade to go backwards, and Rez is trying to close the distance with a flashbang. He'll be taking the peek forward. Rez, it's a shot that he could find. Head trick, though, will be left to deal with this all on his own. Shiro, head spotted, but not given. 1-on-2 still continuing. Grenade does soften him up down to the 1 bullet mark. Wants to try thinking of the rotate backwards as well. Shiro's the only one with the kit, so Buster cannot go for the stick. Headtrick wants to go for the spam. Will be unable to find it, though does not commit to the or instinctively. Buster, second smoke comes out. They want to try and catch him out, and they will spot him as he does double back through the smoke. Config's got his dry spell out and broken. And there's still 25 seconds left. The B-bomb site will be the site that they look to commit on to. Hobbit's the only player nearby to really truly defend it. And Rez has snuck past Nap, and he's a dead man walking. Rez finds the frag, 15 on the clock, and Rez wants to try straight fast, find the player, boost it up, will be able to get the trade, and with just the 11 seconds left, they will have the bomb plant. Rez even goes and finds a third in the meanwhile. CT is just not safe. What a fantastic round coming out from him.
Yeah, and the perfect lurk there from Config. You know, Rez able to pick up the slack as well. A secondary player with Config who has predominantly been alone when he's gone for those probes. Shiro now has to be a hero if Cloud9 want to round out this half with 8. Has a kit and a couple flashes, but a Molotov, or just the fact that he's got 3 Ts to deal with and having an AWP in hand is so difficult to crack into this nut, and it feels like NIP are going to NIP stay stoic in their foray start.
Question is, will be they making a foray back to the B-bomb site? Because grenades shouldn't be finding much at all, because Cloud9 does not want to take the lead alongside with it. Rez is emptying out his magazine, and in the meanwhile, Hobbit and Brolin already starting off the fight. The grenade being lined and prepped up for the bomb plant. Actually like that quite a bit. That's a huge amount of damage. Buster and Shiro worse for wear, and can't be feeling happy about that one, but the retake is on. They've a flash of smoke and a kit for Alexi. Rez is gone in the meanwhile. Config wants to take a stand, but he's not. Shiro still alive. Flashbang to try and push him into coffins, but by that time they've already abandoned it. A 4-on-4 where the T's have got so much space to fall back on and go for a fadeaway shot or two. Config wants to take the lead. Buster is already taken the knee. And Axel still backed away in a new box. Is supposed to be the insurance policy. Headtrick is there. They're pushing through. The bomb diffuser is gone, and so's their chances of winning this round. Headtrick, a single HP, and even that won't be allowed to stay. Deprioritizing early contention of Banana regardless. Headtrick's going to be stationed in here. Axel peeks forward. Tag is there, but it's to the leg or through the wall. Either way, he's still alive and lucky for the matter.
Smoking towards library, and that Molotov is good. It will force Hobbit forward. They know that they are being chased. Alexi tried to get away, but Hobbit does well to track him down, and now trying to take short control. Config, Kishiro not prepared for it, and that's bomb spotted and dropped.
Config and Brolin, this crossfire is a nightmare. Axel should at the very least be able to have something to add to the conversation over here. Maybe even more than just one could be set up for Axel. Knows there's an op coming in from behind, and the question is, what is it covering off? Headtrick turns around, goes back. The B-bomb side, there's where he goes. But Axel turned around himself. Will not be able to find Rez before Buster falls. Rez with the full push through. Axel, this position given up in 10 seconds is all they've got left. With another demise, this has to be a safe call. Sure. Rez, though, this man does not bruise. This man is going to end up with a few bruises, actually. I thought he had that any day of the week, but just flubs the spray.
Yeah, a bruise missile. Oh, good timing on the smoke. Berlan, there's a player that's trying to cheat ahead of it. NaVi just creeping round, and they're ready to flash through, but NaVi even creeping through to CT smoke. This is mad. They double push, they get hyper aggressive, and now suddenly he's on a flank in B. They are none the wiser.
He literally went through between the two of them. No collisions whatsoever either. That's insane. He's threaded the needle, and now the needle is going back towards the A bomb site. And it's NaVi to strike once, NaVi to look twice. It's Config who shuts it down. So still a player on the bomb side. Alexi giving up a chance. This MP9 is going to be getting dirty over here. Looks for the bomb. Should be able to get it. Runs a freebie. It's a guarantee. B. Alexi B is going to be the baby of the B bomb site. Goes ahead and just crushes them all. Not noticed in the slightest, but despite everything that he's able to find, Config's demise just means that they will still end up forfeiting the round. Both IGLs having such...
You know, they're trying to find a star opener in Headtrick. They're trying to bring Burla and Config all up to pace, and yeah, some will succeed, but others, it just feels like we don't see that activation all at the same time. And now Rez, one of those players you were talking about, just bombarded by nades. Burlan will at least make up for a lost comrade in finding a trade.
Problem is the lack of arches control means that Burlan is forced to rotate. Smoke Wally to fight for brackets, or at least pretend like they're doing so. Headtrick needs to find something, but the flashes are great. He is just forced off, and now the re-peek over means Shiro's on the other side, but Shiro doesn't really look like he's necessarily holding for the angle the same way. Headtrick's fadeaway comes at the timing where he now has to be careful about the boost up. Buster does get taken down. Headtrick with a fantastic flick and a Molotov to keep them at bay. Rotation still not here. He knows that there are more players behind. That was literally a boost up. Flashes to fly through. Headtrick to dodge him out. And another frag found. Hobbit, the casualty, and a flashbang to keep Shiro out of the bomb set. He's the one with the bomb, don't forget. So NaVi taking the charge and leading into the smoke is just another casualty. Headtrick. Fantastic round from him coming through. Shiro. Flash forward. Brolin wants to take the peek. NaVi's gone. Got another Molotov as well, so scaling onto this bomb set's going to be impossible, or at least near to it. Buster still lurking back in the apartments will have nothing to add to the conversation. One that is now extended. Exile wants to keep on talking 15 seconds, but might be sent walking. Rez on the back of the bomb site shows off his elbow, and his head's going to be soon to fall. Alexi trying to move back over. Shiro's found the frag. That's so fast. Right back to the 2-on-2.
So key, and they've got a lot of util to make this work. They've got a kit available as well here on NIP, but this kill could just decide it all. Headtrick Deep CT, so split, and that AWP primed on him. Shiro's got it on lock, and now suddenly Config's the last man standing. And he's calling it quits. He doesn't want that heat. Cloud9 with another round on B, and it's this combo between these riflers in Axile and Shat.
Oh, Headtrick's even gone and found NaVi. Despite the grenade, NaVi was maybe even just feeling like he'd be giving up a lot more space to work off of with how defensive Nip has been at times, but Headtrick is there ready and waiting. Even moves back and switches out with Broland, so the A bomb site will be once again populated by the upper. Broland, though, does have only one smoke, and you've got a Molotov on res, so this is very much a site that can be attacked around that 30-second mark. Needs to give that smoke over. Res. They will not be prioritizing the smoke to be used now for the banana redeployment, and that could be something that comes back to bite them. Buster is lining up for a CT push through smoke, and that would be the perfect play to actually counter out the new box boost with, if that is what they end up going for. Molotov now out for res. Smoke has been retrieved as well. Buster's got another one ready and waiting. And this A bomb site, players are still just not moving. Buster's gone back towards CT. Axile has gone. Broland maintains position. Shiro does not want to contend. And as Buster actually goes for the wraparound back in through Coffin, the question is who's watching out for it? Is Rez keeping an eye out over there? Does look like that should be the case, but no. Even he's getting focused into CT. Headtrick's covering off the cross, so the bomb has been dropped. There shouldn't be time, and it's 15 where Cloud9 will be contained to for now. Nip. Can they find this last kill after time?
Side as well. It's been critically important.
Oopsie.
Oh, wow. What is the timing on that? Alexi just trying to throw a nade on the mid control.
Hobbit's even gone and lurked through Bolden on the other side. Who's going to be clocking here? It's all about that Hobbit versus Broland matchup, but he doesn't know his config is over, coming in from behind. Config knows where Hobbit is over at library. Catches him out. Axel's finding them getting aggressive, and Headtrick around the corner can find nothing as well, but Config's still here. A chance given up. They're all coming over to his bomb site, but C9 will